keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. They wanna keep us low. They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom about to rise up. Rise, 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 rise. Every time I turn around.
What's up, folks? We're back.
What's up,
We Rise Podcast.
What's going on tonight?
Marvelous Marvin, JT.
Marvelous Marvin.
And the man, the myth, the legend, the Hawkster himself.
Bam. Let's get it.
What's going on? What's going on, gentlemen?
Hey, today we're back in the mix. It's Monday. We're getting back at it. And a treat for our viewers. We're on time.
Yeah.
Finally,
6 o'clock. Yo, look at it. There was a lot of work that went into being on time. The whole gym was mad at me. I tore everybody out.
Yeah, a lot of anxiety.
But we're here.
Pressure.
We're here. We're ready to get into it.
What
do you got today, Todd? What do you got for us? Let's start it off. What we got?
Well, Jared wants to start it off.
Let's go.
With
What's that?
Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow.
Oh, no, I want to talk about, this is serious. This is
serious business.
This is a serious thing. This is very serious. And I think a lot of you listening should pay attention. Cleveland Browns, baby. Cleveland.
I actually want Cleveland to lose because I can't stand Baker Mayfield.
Wait a minute.
So cocky. It drives me insane.
For me, this is equivalent to the Patriots winning their seventh.
No,
because you know why? Because they're in a fan base. Remember, I'm talking to all of you. They're in a fan base out there that hates the Patriots more than the Steelers.
Well, I think the Steelers the fans just hate on everybody
fans.
But the Steelers.
No, the Cowboys fans too, because they're trying to take over our title as American.
Nobody hates the Patriots more than the Steelers fans, and I'm going to tell you why. There's a little more to this.
Battle for the rings.
Battle for the rings. When you actually got your pants taken down to your ankles and laid over
somebody's very.
When they actually take your pants down to your ankles, like when you're 5 and you get a spanking, they did that to the Steelers for 20 straight years. That's not even like.
Yeah, I have a little disdain for somebody like that.
Sorry, P-Funk.
Sorry, Chop. Hey. All these guys.
You know how you're feeling today.
Oh, sit down next to us. Sit down.
Sit down. We're in the same boat.
Jeez.
So I wanted to bring up my subject today was all the crazy nonsense that's going on. And I sent Brother Marvin a video today that Donald Trump had released. And it was like, it kind of hit home for me because, you know, in Revelations, in the Bible, just all around in the Bible, the things that it's talking about, like, you know, divide and conquer, a house divided will never stand, things like that. And this video, it portrays itself as like saying, oh, let's get together and do whatever. But there's another side to this, you know? So what they say is there's a left wing and a right wing, but they belong to the same bird. You know what I'm saying?
I like that.
And we got to be careful about that, because the other thing is like, with all the stuff that's going on, it's like, you know, me and Jared talk about this a lot. When you're in divorce court and you're going for custody, it's like a custody battle right now. So you have, you know, the parents going back and forth, and who's being hurt, Jared? The kids are being hurt, and basically the American people are being hurt. You know what I'm saying?
I like how, you know.
So
these politicians are going back and forth, and the American people are the ones that are getting hurt.
Yeah, they're fighting for power. They're fighting for, you know, money and, you know, popularity, but they're not fighting for the people that they're supposed to be representing, and that's probably one of the biggest issues.
So I wanted to touch on this because I wanted to say to you, whoever's watching, to my brothers right here, brothers and sisters out there, man, we all got to start realizing what's important. We got to start coming together, and unity is what overcomes, and love overcomes.
We gotta rise.
We gotta rise.
Yeah. And so I was at my sister in Christ's house earlier, and I took this, right? It was on her wall. When everything is uncertain, everything that is important becomes clear. So it is clear to me now that we need to put God first and find out who God is for real and come together and love each other. Because, you know, when they asked, so there's a part in the Bible, they asked Jesus Christ, what is the most important commandment? And Jesus Christ said, love your God, your Father, with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, and love your neighbor as you love yourself. So these are what's important, coming together, you know, having each other's back. Like if someone's hungry, feed them. If someone's thirsty, give them some water, man. If they're cold, give them a coat, a shirt. And your brother and your sister is whoever's standing next to you at that moment. These are my brothers right here.
There's so many forces of evil that lead people to hate. To hate. You know, the devil never had a bigger platform to spread hate than he does now with social media.
Yeah.
There's so many pros to it, but the cons to it is just like, you know, think about before social media, before all this. There was still conflict all over the world. We just didn't know about it. We never heard about it.
Well, we didn't hear it as much. It's in our face.
It's just
every day on top of our regular problems at home and whatever's going on with your girl or your boyfriend or your kids or bills and all these things. It's just adding up, man. It's like a bubble. It's about to burst.
It's true, and the worldly way will, if you get sucked into it, you become that part of that hate. So you're gonna be careful.
Yeah, we all have to be careful
because there's so many things that happen around us that make us want to hate.
It's weighing. It weighs in on you, and then you do things of the world. You react the way the world's reacting.
It's true. Like I constantly have to catch myself. I find myself like being that person sometimes, and it's not comfortable.
No.
And
then you got to repent. You got to look in the mirror, and every day you're looking in the mirror, but it's like we look in the mirror and we walk away and we forget what our face looks like because we didn't pay attention. We didn't take that self-inventory long enough to see what's really going on. You know what I'm saying? Take that self-inventory, go out and come together instead of divide.
And
because we're not the bird. The American people are not the bird. You know what I'm saying? The government is the bird. We're not the bird. So don't try to, you might want to latch onto a wing or whatever, but you're not that wing. That thing will shake you off in a second and take everything you got.
And here people are selling their souls for us.
Selling their souls.
Selling their souls and
taking a side, picking a side when they're already on the side. You're an American. You're a human being, first of all. And we're all in the same country. We're all people,
And this is why a platform like these are important, because we can get out a different narrative than the mainstream is getting out. You know? People watch, these top mainstream networks and they buy into the propaganda, to the programming, and they start to believe that that's reality. What you see on TV isn't reality. We are reality because we're just regular, everyday men out here living our lives trying to maintain. So when you have, a platform like this where you can get a different perspective, get different,
well, me and Jared are regular. You're told Doc.
Yeah, well, hey, that's why I'm here in the first place. I mean,
handsome sandwich.
Hold on. Why don't we take this now? They forced me to wear this today. But the views are
don't lose your sense of humor.
The views are gonna go down.
Keep your sense of humor, man. You got to keep your sense of humor because the world's gonna try to take that from you and have you swallow a pill of bitterness. And then
and I love. When we started this podcast, I didn't want to be like, I want to be raw, authentic, and just real. Yeah. It's just like, we're human. Nobody's perfect. The only one that hits the bullseye every time is God. We all fall short. And we're going to get caught up in the, the moment.
Just because we're saying it doesn't mean we're perfect and we got it covered.
That's right.
We're just trying to put it out there.
And it also is a sense of a reminder.
Yeah.
For me,
exactly.
Just to check myself, like what am I doing? What am I saying? Why would I do that? So it's just a reminder for me to kind of pull myself back.
Thank God for this platform that we can do that, that we can remind ourselves.
And it says change comes what? One man at a time.
Yeah.
It starts with the man in the mirror.
Yeah, that's right.
You can only change what you do and what you say and how you react to things. You can't change what anybody else. You can influence them. And we're going to have a great influencer on later. But you can influence people by example. And that's the best way to influence people. And we're not perfect, but
it makes so much sense what you're saying, and I know everybody's been there and goes through it, but you can't make people do something.
Yeah.
You can't.
Nor should we want it.
And you can't impose your beliefs and your wills on other people, because that's just not the way that it works, And I think if everybody just kind of stays in their lane and just puts love on people, and it is what it is. Everybody's has their own individual way. I just don't think that, you should say like, oh, you need to do X, Y, and Z. It's just kind of.
You could portray it. Like if you feel somebody needs to do whatever, then the best bet is to be that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. If you want it, then you must be it, right? But that's where we fall short. But then we get back up and we move on. Then we fall, we get back, we move. So a righteous man falls 7 times and rises again. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So we're going commercial now.
Hold on. We got some comments over here.
Let's take a
hold on.
A comment.
Yeah, let's see what they're saying over here. Do I even? Ronnie Camps on Norman.
What's that say? Jared and Todd, get out of the camera and let them.
Here we go again.
All right. Well, I can't kind of go up and see the rest of them. How do I go up on this out? All right. So what are we doing? We're going to take a quick break.
Mm-hmm. Rhode Island.
We have
SFBN Rhode Island.
SF. Yep. Go ahead.
We got to put the plug in.
We got somebody tonight. We got somebody. I'm excited about it.
Oh, this is going to be an awesome show. We have an entertainer, an entrepreneur, a motivator, and just an all-around stand-up guy coming on the show tonight. A show that I've been looking forward to all week. We have Mason Santos. Some of you might know him as DJ Finesse, Rhode Island's own. And we're looking forward to talking to him when we come back from break.
So we'll be back, Jack. No, yeah, that's just Jared's Facebook.
Yeah.
We're back.
We are.
We are the man in black. America's defenders.
Did we talk about the Steelers?
Yeah.
Did we talk about?
Yeah, we talked. We did talk about the Steelers.
Shout out to Cleveland, man. It's been a long time.
Next year's another year, if there is even football left.
Right?
the way it's going. You can always count on boxing and MMA lately, though.
Yeah, we can.
They're taking over in the pro athletic field.
All right, I'm excited about this. I can't wait. Nice, thanks, Ben. I'm excited about this. I got to get this out. Born and raised in East Providence, Rhode Island, college graduate, former college basketball player for Rhode Island College, a husband, a father, a successful business owner, life coach, a mentor. He just wrote a book, Personal.
A God-fearing man.
A God-fearing man. He just wrote his first book, From Personal to Purpose. He's official DJ of P. Diddy. He was on 106 Park
official DJ of Bad Boy Records.
Of Bad Boy Records. He just corrected me on that. He said somebody told me he DJ'd at Hugh Hefner's mansion.
That's where he met who?
That's where he met Marvin.
That's where he met Marvin. That's right.
Marvin was bouncing at Hefner's mansion. That's what Finesse told me, but he was never there. So
DJ Finesse was never there.
No, his wife knows. His wife knows he was never there.
He's a good husband.
So, yeah, he DJ'd at 50 Cent's mansion actually.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
This guy right here rubbed elbows with celebrities. He's been on red carpets. He's traveled all over the world. The one, the only DJ Finesse. Bring him on, Mason Santos.
What up, brother?
Whoa, Mason.
Who's that other guy? Oh, that's Marvelous Marvin.
Hey, Mason, who's with you?
This is him. This is the man. This is the guy right here.
Excuse me, Mason. DJ, who's that with you?
Marvelous.
Oh, Marvin.
Hey, don't make me come out of retirement.
You could have hit me in a phone booth.
What's going on?
I want to get into this interview because this is we're going to talk about who you are and where you came from, and a lot of information came right here in this wonderful literary masterpiece. Tell us about how you came to be an author of a book, because this is fascinating.
Yeah. First of all, I appreciate Jared, you guys having me on. Last podcast. Thank you for having me on and giving me a platform to have a dialogue. Appreciate that. So as far as becoming an author, I have a saying that if one person tells you something, you can dismiss it. If two people say the same thing, it's a coincidence. When 3, 4, and 5 all say the same thing or more than that, you better pay attention.
Right.
So through the course of my career, I've heard you need to write a book. You need to write a book. You need to write a book. And I think the biggest thing was the people who were telling me to write a book hadn't written a book. So it didn't really, I get where they were coming from, but the people who were saying write a book hadn't written a book. And so I met this young 24-year-old, I actually shouted him out in the book. His name is Jonathan Gonzalez. He wrote a book. And he literally, he flew to Africa on his own and just was on a journey to really get this information when he wrote a book. And he knew my story. He's like, Finesse, you need to write a book. So I'm like, wow, this 24-year-old young kid, Guatemalan kid, wrote a book. He was a published author. He's sitting there saying, you need to write your book. So when I heard that from a published author, I'm like, okay, it's time to write.
And, the thing is, the reason why it's so fascinating for me and it's inspirational, we go way back. I met you in 1987, and we've always been.
I was like 2.
And we've had a chance to build more over the last 7 months. I mean, so I've known you, but I feel like in the last 7 months I've known you. I got to know you, and I started reading this book a couple of days ago, and there's so many different things in here. And I want to say, I read some motivational books like Robert Kiyosaki, and was it Rich Dad Poor Dad? Right? And they had Millionaire Next Door. I think from what I've read so far, that this is right up there with those books. I'm not just saying that because you're sitting next to me and my dude. I'm saying that this is actually, if you don't have it, and I'm gonna say this to Gavin, I don't know this, but we're gonna legendary, we're gonna purchase 3 these books. We're gonna buy a book, and we're gonna give that away.
So I'm with it.
That wants to copy this book and you don't have the money to buy it. You have 3 copies to give away. So if you send Jared a message, we'll have those copies waiting for you.
I'm with it.
You know what? Let me add to that. I'm going 7.
There you go.
We'll have 10.
Nice. There you go.
So contact us.
I think the audio is
Echoing.
no, it's cutting in and out. I think that's what Josh said.
Oh,
Our audio.
Is it us?
Yeah.
Us.
oh, he's muffled. Or he's muffled.
Too far away.
Turn off. Did you clear all your stuff out?
keeps cutting off. Yeah, all my stuff is off.
You want
That's all right.
back?
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll be right back. We're gonna get this fixed up.
This is why we're gonna switch this up with live, maybe.
What's up, folks? We're back.
How's that sound?
We're
Better?
gonna fix up a couple things and bring back DJ Finesse in a minute, so he's not coming in and out. But Jerry, you been reading this book lately?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that book's on point. Like, you get into it.
He's been a personal friend of mine for over 25 years.
Yeah.
And one of the people that I would always see and just instantly give love. His soul is right.
You can tell.
You
can feel someone's energy as soon as you meet him. And this man, as soon as I met him, I was like,
some people have that soul that you just already know instantly as soon as you meet them.
yeah,
He's that guy.
yeah.
Finesse is that guy.
I've been reading his book, man.
How's the audio now? Better?
Captivates you. Somebody right here, Joshua.
Josh, Jay, I know.
He wants a copy.
Is he back in yet? Where are we?
You guys back
Mace,
in?
you in?
No, we're gonna bring him back on.
He's let me tell you.
Bang.
Is that you, Al? Thanks. Inspiring though. It seems like he just goes and you see him throw punches lately?
Yeah. Yeah.
I taught him everything I know.
Everything you know in 6 months?
Right, he sent me the video.
How long did it take you to learn?
Wait, I'm gonna wait for him to come on because it's pretty funny. He sent me a video of him hitting the double in bag and slipping, and he looked really good.
Yeah.
And I'm texting back. I'm like, wow, well, you look like Glass Joe in his prime. Yo, you there, Mace?
Yeah, we're back.
Is that audio better, people?
Let's chop it up, dude.
Jay, Jay, I need some stories. Put them up.
Okay.
Jay Montero, we want to hear them.
Oh yeah.
That's mine.
Hey, Mace, remember you sent me the video a couple of days ago of you hitting the double in bag?
Yeah, Marvin, yeah.
You hitting it, and you looking like Garcia. You look like your speed, everything getting better. Listen. What did I say to you?
What Garcia, Ryan?
When you sent the video to me, what was my response?
Oh, you call me Glass Joe.
I said, wow, Mason, you look good. You look like Glass Joe in his prime.
I said, all right. I said, Glass Joe from the game that was the
He's
first
like,
guy
Glass
that-
Joe.
He had no wins in the game.
the first guy.
Marvin,
Why you the easiest level?
There you go.
Why do you think you're sitting with him today? No wins in the boxing game. They got a lot in common.
All right, so
Oh,
listen,
man.
I gotta ask. Okay, so what you said? Who inspired you to write the book?
Mm-hmm.
And the process of writing a book must be a tedious process. So just kind of walk us through you know, how you pulled all these memories and these things together to put in one book.
I think it's obviously been a culmination of years of, you know, DJing and just experiences that I've had. And I think for me, the process, I think writing the book was the easiest thing, honestly.
Yeah.
Writing the book was the easiest thing. And I say that because every word in that book is mine. There's no ghostwriters. Every experience is mine. It's not doctored up to be a movie. So I really felt like that was the easiest part. And for me, I had a process physically, which was, I started writing this, actually it was last September. And I would get into my office, and I'm a behavior specialist, and I'm able to have some downtime with some students. So while they're doing their work in my classroom, I started writing the book. But it would always be, I would come into the classroom, grab my laptop, and I would play Optimistic by Sounds of Blackness, right? Amazing song, get that. I would play Fabulous and Jeremiah, It's My Time, literally. And I would go on to YouTube, and I would research hip hop, jazz, instrumental, and I would just zone out. And so it really was just about, you know, what did I want to get accomplished and what did I want to get across to the people. And I was really excited about, I thought I finally had something to say that was worth hearing from other people. So, you know, when you have that feeling that's innate, that's organic, it was just, let me just go. So I didn't really have a format as far as what, you know, the chapters. I didn't have a title. I just started to go. And that's my friend Jonathan said. He said, look, just start writing. Don't worry about names. Just start going from your heart. And that's what I did. And it just went and went.
Well, I tell you, the finished product is something that everyone should read. You know, I've mentioned those, you know, other books that I've read, and, you know, then bestsellers, right?
That's where this is going. Just saying that.
That's where this is going.
Because I've read a lot of them,
right?
And I got a lot of inspiration from them. And to hear that is like just truly humbling to be in that category of literature. That you've written something that can almost, you know, stand with those. That's like Jordan Ness, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I mentioned some that's like the Jordan of writing.
Correct.
And to be even compared to that is just amazing.
No, it's awesome.
So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm only speaking the truth. I'm not, like I said, I'm not just saying that because you're sitting here. Another thing, I don't want to give away too much stuff that's in the book. You know, I really liked how you recognize the people in your life. You know, from your mom, your dad, your brother, and your wife. You know, your children. And that's a good thing, because a lot of times we live our lives and we don't thank the people that are influences to us or helped us. You know, we don't do it enough. We don't do it in a manner that you know, we might thank you, but the stuff that you wrote in here was not only heartwarming and touching, but it was powerful. And it sounds like all those people really encouraged you, and so there's the importance of having a team around you.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like you have a great support system.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I wouldn't be here without them, without every last person. And you know, you can never mention everyone, obviously. I did the best to recognize the people who would really influence me, you know, during the course of my life, from when I was, you know, young, going to John Hope, you know, Southside Boys Club, to like, you know, how I got here. So, you know, I mentioned my family members, all their last names. I have so many cousins, many cousins. You can write a book alone on the cousins, but I want to at least mention the last names of all my cousins in that family, because they deserve to be recognized, because, you know, they had a hand in who I am today too. So, you know, from college friends to, you know, us being able to sit here on this couch and chop it up to Jared. But it's just, you know, people I felt like needed to be mentioned, and that was my starting block, because that's how I started. Like, I started with them. That was the best way to start the book, like with, you know, family.
Never forget where you come from, right?
Absolutely.
Good stuff, nice.
And I just wanted to say something real quick. So, you know, you have a way of leaving an impression on people. So my son, he went to East Providence High School for like, I don't know, maybe a half a year. And one day, you was the substitute gym teacher.
Okay, yeah.
And he was saying how just in that one day, like, you left a great impression on him, because I was like, you know, telling him who my next guest was and stuff. He goes, oh, I know him, this and that. So one time of him meeting you for one class, you left a great impression. And I just wanted to ask you about, so in your book, you you was writing, like, I just wanted to point out how when you was learning to do the scratching and you you was stealing your parents' like records and things like that, like. So I wanted to say how the kids today, they have all this technology and stuff like that. And I was telling the kids, and they're like, wow, they were blown away on like how you had to envision, you know, the guys from New York or whatever, like scratching to really get to that point. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so obviously, you know, being 51, dating ourselves, dating myself at least. I won't say your age. You can do it on your own, right? That's what you say.
35. I can say it on there. That's
right?
okay.
35.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't have social media. We didn't have the technology. We didn't have cell phones. So we really came up in an era where you had to really learn, like the brick and mortar, like the hand, like with your hands. And we were outside and we did everything physically. So, you know, for me, it was really about. You know, I seen my man DJ Buck, and I'm sure you guys will ask about him. But you know, I saw him at my cousin's wedding reception, and I had never seen a DJ before. I'd never seen a DJ. I didn't know what one looked like, what they did, and I was fascinated with what he was doing. And once I got home, I literally started putting my money together. I was young. I was like 13. And I'm getting a job at 15 because I want my own money. I want to buy my own DJ equipment, and I just started. Literally just going into the basement and just literally taking all my parents' records. And there was like a 3-section record player, right? So all my young folks, Google record player. You probably don't know what that is, right? Yeah. So if you're under 35, Google record player, right?
I'm right there.
Yeah, so Bob, go Google that.
I'm 35.
Yeah.
I'm good. So
Close.
All
right. So I remember it was a record player at the top. It was like the radio in the middle, and on the bottom it was a cassette deck. Google that. Cassette tapes, right? Tapes. I just remember trying to use the volume button and the record player to try to learn how to scratch because I could remember what it looked like when Buck was doing it. I only seen Buck one time, right? At the time, I only seen him do this one time. And I'm like, okay, I remember him doing something of this sort and just trying to figure it out. But it was just trial and error. I just kept going and going and going until I figured it out.
Awesome.
Mace, I got a quick funny story. When, I don't know, I might have been like just starting to go to clubs when I met Finesse would DJ at all the hottest spots all over Rhode Island, all the over 21 clubs. If Finesse was there, the whole city in New England, and they were coming in from Boston, New York for you.
Oh, nice.
So I met you. I was about 15 and a half when I first started going to over 21 clubs. And I remember your soul was so good when you left such an impression on me. I was like, all I kept thinking about was what a good heart that kid has. And I actually came back to the club the next week. You didn't know, but I came to the door with a like 3 or 4 albums under my arm. I said I was with the DJ. I walked into the door. Right, you see, I had albums. I was like, they're like, where you going? I was 15. I'm with the DJ. They said, all right, go ahead. I never got there.
We should switch places.
No, I never made it to you, Finesse, because I thought the bouncers were looking for me, so I was dipping. But I just wanted to tell you that.
I never saw the records he brought, right? I never saw the records. So good man.
It'd be like another Finesse would see me come in the building. And automatically he put the spotlight on me, and the song "Another One Bites the Dust" comes on. Doom, doom, doom. Another one bites the dust. Right? And Finesse would follow me around, and there I go.
I'm like, let me get paid first, man. Can I get paid? Let me get paid first.
That's great.
So now you got this book, right?
Yeah.
And there's so much in it. And, you know, what I appreciate, even just being around Jared and Todd and building with them, you know, Jared's like a open book. He's really, really transparent, very honest, very, you know, exact. And he doesn't hide from, you know, himself or his past or the things that, you know, he's had to overcome in life. And as I'm reading your book, and again, I don't want to give away too much because I want people to read it for themselves. There's so many things in here that you talk about that surprised me, right? That I didn't know, right? And I'm reading it and I'm like, wow. Like if you look at you and talk to you, you never know, some of those obstacles were there for you to have to get over, those hurdles for you to have to get over to even get here. You know,
Right.
you obviously you're very polished, you got a lot of things going on for you. So, but tell us the struggle that you had to endure and how you were able to over, because now you're in different modes.
Which one?
Again, I don't want to
Which one? Which one?
Just, you know, some of the obstacles you had to get through, you know, from financial trouble to just, you know, trying to find, you know, the right employment just to get to where you are now. The struggle had to be tremendous, and I guess that struggle is a part of the reason to write such a good book.
Yeah, so I think, you know, in this technology era, right, this social media era, you know, it's funny, I call, like, you know, some of these social media outlets, I call them, you know, reality show starter kits, right? So it's everyone's chance to be their own reality show, and how much of that is real. And again, I'm by no stretch of imagination am I perfect, right? I'm not polished, but I believe that you connect the dots when you look back, right? If you're able to look back, you can connect the dots then. And I just heard Les Brown say, you know, you can't read the label from inside the box, right? You can't read the label from inside the box. So in order for me to read the label, I had to get outside of who I was and who I was trying to become to look back and see the mistakes that I made. And then how do I make that right? How do I change some things around to move forward? And I started thinking to myself, okay, there's no such thing as a loss. It's only a lesson. I'm like, okay, so what lesson did I learn from what I thought was losses, you know, back in the day? And just, you know, my thought was, you know, so many times as far as DJing, I think maybe it's relevant. I've been on, you know, the red carpets. I've done all there is to do, and I've had an amazing career in DJing, but it wasn't always fulfilling. And I think that people see the shiny object and they don't see the work that goes into that. They only see, you know, they look at someone who they say, oh, he's popping. Yeah, but you didn't see him for 20 years trying to build this thing, trying to build, you know, going through the pain and the struggle. They don't see that. They only see, because we only show people most times what we want them to see on social media.
Correct. Yeah.
No, think about this. No one shows the bad pictures on social media, right? You'll take 8 million pictures, you get the best one, and you'll post that. So no one shows the bad thing. So I figured, okay, there's got to be a way to express what I've gone through and what was considered a loss, that it could be someone else's lesson, right? So, you know, the goal was to find a way to really articulate what I've gone through, and, you know, even financial, like people, I remember people saying, oh, Finesse got it going on. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no idea what I had going on. Because even I was only showing people what I wanted you to see. So, you know, as far as like understanding that concept and trying to, you know, figure out the best way to move forward was to just be honest, to be upfront about, you know, the struggles and everything that, you know, that glitters isn't gold. And I say that all the time, everything that glitters isn't gold. You have no idea what I'm going through. And, you know, whether it be financial, you know, there were some financial struggles there, whether it be social, you know, basketball and losses there, and just, you know, how do I be honest enough that people can say, you know, we respect his transparency, and maybe he sounds like he's telling my story, right?
Yeah.
Like, you sound like you're telling my story, and there's a connection there. So that was really the goal, and trying to understand, you know, the things that I looked at that I considered a loss, but that are now lessons. And again, it's purpose, right? The book. So many things were personal for me, but they weren't purposeful. Like, I truly, and maybe it's another segue for you, but I remember like so many interviews, and they really had no interest in Mason Santos. They didn't want to know who Mason Santos was, and I understood that. I was in entertainment, and I could tell you 1,000 times the question was, what's Diddy like? What's this like? And I get that, right? That's entertaining. And I'm like, they didn't want to know I was a behavior specialist. They didn't know I wanted to impact the lives of kids and really, you know, really engage with young people. Like, and that wasn't entertaining. So I'm like, wow, like this is, you know, imagine getting to the top, so to speak, in theory. And when you get there, you're like, this is it? Like, yeah, like all that work, and you get there and you think that it's not what you thought it was. So for me, it wasn't purpose. And I had to find my purpose.
It seems like you're on the right path, that's for sure. You know, and I want to say something. I'll turn it over to Jared and Todd. It's like you said with entertainment. It's called entertainment for a reason. You know, and people kind of get that mixed up from reality and a fiction and nonfiction. And I remember I might have said this the other day. I was looking at something. I don't remember where I got it from. Something on YouTube, and the caption said, "The truth, the truth is the truth, even if no one believes it, and a lie is still a lie, even if everyone believes it."
It's true.
And that's how I view like entertainment and television. It's all fiction, but everybody buys into it because it's all we see. It's all we've been programmed to know. And you
Can I add to that, Brother Marvin?
Yes, sir.
And there is no lie in the truth.
There you go. And you said something in your book. You said, and I hope I get this right. You're looking to, I forgot the word. I forgot the quote already. You're looking to upgrade your thinking pattern. So what does that mean exactly to you?
So, we all have our outlook on the world, right? Our outlook on the world, our perception of the world is created from, your family, your community, your education, your experiences. And all of us have different families, different communities, different experiences. So our outlook on the world is going to be different. And the way that you have to, in my opinion, again, it's just my thoughts. This isn't fact. This isn't law. This is just my feelings. Is the only way to move forward is you have to get outside of your thinking pattern. That's what's got you to where you are. And so what's gotten you there won't get you any further, right? So that same thinking that got you into the problem is not the same thing that's going to get you out of it, right? Whatever thinking that got you into where you're at, the same thinking won't get you out.
Correct.
So you got to upgrade your thinking pattern. So for me, it's like, okay, how do I do that? And it wasn't even through education. It truly wasn't. Yes, I'm educated. I have my college degree. But when I started to dive into the books that you mentioned, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, like How to Win Friends and Influence People, right? Robert Kiyosaki. I'm like, this was all information that was foreign to us. Like, we went to school together, we went to college together. And I can tell you, like, it only started for me 6 years ago. And I was like, where was this information when I think we needed it most, right? And thank God, right, that we I got to find it, through mentors who had it, but that allowed me to start reading things and saying, wow, you've had some stuff all wrong. Like you've had some stuff all wrong. And, you need to even, get out of your thinking pattern and upgrade that so that you can even move forward in life. And even, obviously one of the most amazing books is the Bible, right? And I now have the Bible in my house, and it's sitting right there on my table because,
amen.
Yeah. So, even diving into that book, and I'm blown away by the scriptures. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, what?
Mason, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Something that I can relate a lot to, and I say it a lot. And then, I thought about what I wanted to ask you and what it meant to you, because it might mean something different for everybody. What does get comfortable being uncomfortable mean to you?
So most people, think about, okay, so let's look at boxing, right? Let's look at boxing, right? Let's say you've mastered, 9 minutes, like you can go 3 rounds, right? But listen, in order for you to go 12 rounds, you got to start getting uncomfortable, get into that place physically, spiritually, emotionally that you're not used to being, because that won't get you to the 12 rounds. So for most people, where I say this, being comfortable can be a nice place to be in, right? But nothing grows there. Nothing grows in a comfortable place because you have no reason to change anything. It's comfortable, right? I just want to make some money. I just want to be comfortable and pay my bills. Okay, then that's what they do their whole life. And so there's no growth in that. I just want to be comfortable, right? So you have to get comfortable, right? Get in that feeling of okay, I'm now used to being in places that make me uncomfortable, because in that uncomfortable place is where the growth lies. So you got to learn to accept the things that you're not used to, because that's where the growth happens.
And it's not something you're just talking, because when we're in here and we're working out, and I told you, I said, sometimes your trainer is just a motivator.
Right.
You may know what to do. We have a guy in the room now who's a Golden Glove champion. Mikey over here.
What up, Mike?
Okay, shout out.
Mikey knows what to do.
Correct.
He doesn't, but sometimes that push to do it is what you need.
100%.
And you write about something about that in the book. And I see you in here working out. And I've told you before, I said, if there's not a point in time where you're not looking at me shooting daggers out of your eyes,
Right.
I'm not doing my job.
Correct.
Because my job is to push you to that uncomfortable place to get you over that hump. So then uncomfortable becomes comfortable again. Now we got to take it to the next level of uncomfortability.
Absolutely.
So we can continue to grow. Because you're right, you can't grow when you're comfortable.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, Jared. It'd be very comfortable for me to not let you guys know, because I have a membership here, right? It'd be very comfortable to come in here and do my own thing. When I make the phone call, hey, I'm coming in, right? So I need to be uncomfortable in order to grow. So I can easily not call you guys at all and work out myself. Mm-hmm. So I make sure, because I know he's gonna push me. You're gonna push me, Jeff, outside of that envelope, and that push, getting uncomfortable, is how I become a better boxer, get in better shape, right? Mentally better, because we have these conversations in the ring all the time. So I could easily, comfortably not call you guys. That'd be the most comfortable thing to do.
And I know it's been tempting sometimes.
I'm like, I gotta call. Yo, I'm heading in, man.
I know Jay's been going.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, I see them.
I've shown up a few nights, but listen.
They are not comfortable.
Are you really gonna call Mom?
Yeah.
No, Mace, I can relate to what you're saying, because it's work. It's work, and it's physical work. And sometimes if a person stops and overthinks about them going to put in that work, a lot of times they're going to find an excuse and a reason not to go and not to do it. Absolutely. Because it hurts.
Absolutely.
Because it hurts. Me and Marvin were talking about this earlier, Marv, about some people can't get comfortable being uncomfortable. They lose. Some people. What do you say to the people that struggle, that might have this? I told Marvin earlier, this they might have this amazing voice and they sing all around the house, and the voice is like just $1 billion voice. But if you put them in front of people, they freeze, and they in that moment they can't perform and show the world, but in the house they're great. And I think that's part of getting comfortable, being uncomfortable. In that moment, you gotta rise to the occasion. What do you say to those people that are stage fright and can't seem to get there?
So I think it comes down to your why, like why you're doing what you're doing. I always say your why will make your way, right? So, and I think that when you start doing things for other people, it takes the light off of you, it takes the onus off of you. I think that makes it a lot easier. So, like the person you're saying, the person who's a singer, so I guess I would say, okay, I have this amazing voice, but I'm singing for you, the people, right? So I think once you can kind of figure out that life and the way to, what do they say, service to many leads to greatness, right? Service to many leads to greatness. So, are you doing somebody a disservice by not singing and bringing joy to their lives, and how your voice and your songs could really impact the world? So I would say, do things for other people. And at that point in time, like I'm not on stage for me. Like I'm on, like I wrote this book. These are my words for you. Right? I put that in the book. These are my words, but I didn't write this for me. I wrote this for you. I think when you can do that, again, you don't feel it like the pressure's on you, because you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for everyone else.
And see, and that's the thing. We talked about this too. Knowledge is power. But if you have knowledge and you never share that knowledge with anyone, and that's the greatest thing that you can do. The greatest gift you can give somebody is knowledge, right? Because that helps them grow, and they can share that knowledge to somebody else and help them grow. And I think we sometimes in a me society, we forget about our fellow man. And Todd made this comment earlier. You should love your neighbor as you love yourself. And if you have that mentality, then we all are better for it. We all grow. So what you're doing is you're sharing so much knowledge and so much wisdom, and it's a couple 100 pages here that is priceless. And even and when I myself, when I saw you, I said, I got I got to get the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I got the book, and now I'm like, okay, I don't want to just get the book. What is he saying?
Sure.
And I've had the book for a couple of months now, I think. Right?
Yeah.
It's just sitting there, and I'm carrying it around, but I haven't cracked it. So if I have all this power and all this knowledge, and I never use it, there's nothing. I'm not going to gain anything.
Yeah.
You know, how many people sit back and they say, like you say in your book, they have all these great ideas, but they don't do anything with them.
Absolutely.
And you had a lot of great ideas, and that's why it's so inspirational to me. Even what Jared does here with him and Todd with the podcast.
Amazing, by the way.
Yeah, they had the idea,
Yeah.
and instead of just sitting around talking about it and chewing the fat for a year or 2 years, they actually said, "Let's just do it," and we're all growing together.
Absolutely.
Jared's a go-getter. That's why.
Think we should take a break, guys, and come back and talk with Mason some more.
Yeah. Mason.
Yeah.
Love you, man. You're a class act.
SFBN Rhode Island.
Love you,
We'll be
brother.
back.
Yeah, love you, brothers.
Make sure you follow.
You couldn't have two guests.
Welcome back. We back, Jack.
So, hey, Jared. Oh, well, back.
We back. DJ Finesse.
We love
DJ Finesse. I got a question.
Yes, sir.
So, I was in the book. You was talking about like traveling back and forth. Because back then in like the '80s, it was huge. Like hip hop was like what do you call it? Ground zero was pretty much New York.
Yeah.
So going back and forth, like stories and things that had happened. Can I get some craziness, a story that happened?
So crazy as far as like just opportunity or just things that like we saw?
Whatever comes to mind.
Well,
going to New York, DJing, learning from DJs or whoever out there.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, and you can answer his question, but who would you say that you've met in the industry? Because I saw that you had a picture with Timbaland, right?
No, not Timbaland.
Who was that, man? That looked like Timbaland.
All from like Russell Simmons, everybody.
Looked like Timbaland.
It looked like Timbaland to me in the picture. You had a yellow shirt on, you were behind the turntable.
Yeah.
No, that was Halloween. You guys was dressed up.
That looked like Timbaland.
He doesn't even remember who he had on his.
Hey, look, Marvin's right. It looked like Timbaland.
Now I would remember it.
Todd, you gotta pull. Somebody's gonna pull that up. Because if that's
I'm
not
gonna pull
Timbaland,
that up.
I'm leaving right now. I'm leaving the show right now. If that's not Timbaland.
That
Anyway,
was a Halloween party, a costume party.
Okay, there we go. Who would you say you've met in the industry that actually, you mentioned DJ Buck. Buck's a good dude. He's in Connecticut now doing his radio station up there. Was it 937? Is he on?
937 Connecticut.
About 937?
Yeah.
But who has helped you in the industry? And then you can give us a story about, some of the things that you might have
that's not
started.
Timbaland. That's
Yeah, so both questions. So,
Who's
great
that,
question.
Mason? You see that?
No, you gotta give that to Mikey. We gotta see.
Let me see
If that ain't Timbaland, I don't know.
That's not Tim.
Who is it? Let me see.
That's what's his name from the album.
Lad from right here.
Oh my God!
These guys are bad.
What's going on, brother?
Make some lads on this one.
We thought that was Timbaland.
Just like Timbaland in that picture, that's for sure, man. I was like, what's this guy? He's over there with the big dogs. Oh my goodness. Okay, that's Lad. Lad, what's up, brother?
Wow.
I'm sorry. Good. Well, you didn't meet Timbaland. You met Lad. So how was it to meet Lad?
Voice of New England, man.
There you go.
Amazing talent.
I haven't seen him in a long time. But anyway, so who would you say helped you the most in the industry?
Man, I think, I got to give homage to Buck first and foremost, because without him, and Buck and I are still amazing friends. When he lives in Connecticut, but we bump into each other, it's love. Like we bump into each other at 50's Mansion. For
His
me,
mansion.
oh my God, it's ridiculous.
Hughes mansion or 50s?
50 cents man. Yeah,
Oh,
I've been there.
He said Hughes Mansion.
Hughes,
He said Hughes Mansion of 50s.
Hughes mansion.
You know, don't listen to Jared.
Right?
Don't listen to Jared.
His wife's watching. He wasn't
Yeah.
at. He wasn't at Hester's wedding. He wasn't there. He swears to God he was.
I didn't see him there. That wasn't him. That was a guy.
No, it wasn't him. We were doing shots with, right?
So there you go.
Yeah, one
There you
man.
go.
One man. Some other guy. Thank God there's 3 other finesses out there, right?
There you go. That look exactly like you. So that's cool.
So, definitely Buck. I patterned myself after 3 DJs. It was Buck, it was Kid Capri, and oh my God, I'm having a brain fog. Pete Rock. DJ Buck, Kid Capri, and Pete Rock. I'm a mixture of those 3. Now, yeah.
Mace, it seems like, when you're doing something, whether it's basketball, dice, whatever it is, you surround yourself with people that win, and and that's how you figure out the way. You go around people that have done it and that inspire you. My question is, you are learning to box with someone with so many consecutive losses.
Here we go. And I thought it was past that this week.
I don't get this. Tell me what I'm missing here. Is it a friend thing? Is it a loyalty thing?
It's absolutely all that. It's all that.
I got him on his heels. Yeah.
Listen, what Jared's not telling everybody because he doesn't want to. I won 2020 Trainer of the Year. Now that might be because all the gyms were closed, but I won it anyway. I'm taking in one.
Wait, hey, when I was reading off, when I was identifying DJ Finesse, I'm reading it. It's like down to here, the scroll. I was writing for 2 days, and I thought the only one with a resume this long, but this is consecutive wins for you. I'm like, Marvin's with consecutive losses. He's the only one. These guys are bad. Man.
Listen, tell him who the brain trust and the dynamic trainer in Legendary is. Don't say it. No, I'm afraid he might pull your membership. No,
absolutely, yeah.
It's Jared Tilling.
There you go.
So I got.
Mason, don't stop, Mason.
No, but I do want to get to Todd's question, right? So I'm gonna make sure I don't ignore that. So those 3 DJs, I'm a combination of those 3. I think you couldn't get, in my opinion, any better, right? I even thought about it on the way over here. Like, Kid Capri is the best, to me, to this day still, is the best club DJ I've ever seen in my life. As far as to be able to just move the whole club. And so he taught me, how to use the microphone. I mean, literally, I would go to every event Kid Capri was ever at. Whether it was here, I've been to Kid Capri's event in Boston, and Kid Capri's event in Atlanta. So wherever I had to be, and all of a sudden I ended up being on Kid Capri's bus, right? So me and my wife on his bus and just chopping it up. And then the culmination of that is doing a party for Nelly in Vegas, and I'm the headline DJ, and there's Kid Capri because he was doing his own. He was there, I think, on a monthly basis in Vegas. But here I am, the headline DJ. In Vegas for Nelly's Miss Applebottom, and Kid Capri standing right there in the booth.
That's
so it's like
crazy.
Full circle. And then obviously DJ Buck is just, I think what I got from Buck is that Buck is the master of knowing what song to play and when. And I don't know if there's ever been a time where I've watched Buck play the wrong song at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? And then Pete Rock, amazingly technical with scratching and stuff like that, right? So that's the 3 of them. But as far as influence, and he wrote the forward, it's all day Master Ace. So Master Ace is a hip hop legend. You can Google him. Ace, Marvin and I went to URI our freshman year.
Don't play when it comes to the bass.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. Check it out, baby. Check it out, y'all. I want to go on the road.
Todd, see on the
It's your birthday.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Get it, Todd. Get it, Todd.
Vanilla twice. So
there we go.
Well, Todd found his calling here on the show. Todd's going to be rapping.
Yeah.
He'll get his own little segment.
From now on.
From now on, you got once a week.
Oh yeah, it's good. Yeah,
30
freestyle.
seconds.
30 seconds.
Put it right in the middle of the ring.
Mm.
Ring king, right? So at Master Ace, by far,
Dope
you
lyricist.
know, dope lyricist, but I mean, a even better person. And he's still, you know, obviously through COVID, not like it wasn't, but he still tours all over the world. Like, so having the ability to go to see Ace and my man Ray Dow, my man Mike Delic we used to leave every chance we got from URI. So when Ace and Ray graduated, Mike and I used to leave URI and go every chance we got to New York because we just knew we just needed to see it. And I saw it, you know, I saw it here. It was being done here, hip hop, but then I saw it on the main stage and I'm like, oh my God, this is huge. Like this is going to be global. And then I get to hear Pete Rock. And again, that, you know, not having YouTube, not having a way to record, I would put in a tape, I would hit record, I would record like 3 or 4 different cassettes, I would come back to URI and I would just play them and I would just sit there in my room and I would just listen. I'm like, how is he doing this? Like, how is he doing it? I would just jump on my turntables and try to figure it out. But as far as like, you know, going back to New York City, my man D Prosper, you know, there was a club called Sessa on Tuesday nights. And it was every Tuesday, every chance I could get, I would go until I ended up being a DJ, me and Camilo. So, you know, I'm there with, you know, from Nate Dogg, R.I.P., Alicia Keys. I mean, you name it, I've met everyone there is just by being in the in scene and making sure that I took the initiative to put myself in position to win, but then being, I would hope, talented enough that when I got my shot, no matter what, from Rhode Island or not, I was able to like get in there and do my thing and just stay. So, you know, there's a lot of sacrifice of driving places that I had to be in all the time. I remember going to Philly for open mic night. Like, hey, Finesse, is open mic night. All right, we gotta go. Who's there? I don't care who's there. Like, we gotta go. So going every place I could possibly be and put the groundwork in, you know, like a boxer putting the road work in, right?
You were working.
Yeah, it was the same thing. There's the same success principles that went in.
These kids nowadays think they're working. They're not working like that.
And that's why I couldn't manage. I truly couldn't manage, man. I'm like, nah, you guys don't want to do the work.
So Jared, let's take a break because I want to squeeze something in before we have to.
No, we don't need.
Yeah.
We're done with breaks, buddy.
Oh, you heard? Oh,
We're done with breaks.
No breaks?
Ooh.
The boss has talked.
He's making an executive decision, overriding you, Marvin. Listen, what's going on tonight?
You know what? You guys are trying to force me to come out of retirement.
No, wait.
I'm not going to do it.
Get it in, Big Mom.
They don't really want the smoke.
Hey, all these boxes around here will
They want
get
the
double
smoke,
leg.
Mike. They want the smoke.
They don't want the smoke.
All
Listen,
these boxes around here will get double leg.
I don't know what that is, but it don't sound comfortable.
Fireman's carry. So
they're going to be comfortable being uncomfortable.
It don't sound comfortable.
Listen, I just want to touch on the health and fitness thing for a second, okay? I mean, you know, you're pretty open about, you know, being a sea survivor. And I know now you got this thing you're doing. You sent me some information out. You're doing a 10-day reset. Just tell us about the 10-day reset and what it does and how it helps the body, you know, as far as building the immune system and just overall health and fitness.
Yeah, so, you know, I tried to be fit as long as I could, you know, playing college basketball, try to just stay in shape. You know, when you have kids, you don't want to be lethargic and you can't run around with your kids and be active with your kids. So I always try to stay in shape. So the 10-day reset is a company called Secret Direct. They're amazing. It's all organic, like non-GMO, vegan, plant-based, which is the way to kind of boost the body and put it into an alkaline state. And learning about health and trying to be a little more healthy, diseases really can't live in an alkaline state. They live in an acidic, sugary state, right? So when you boost the body's alkalinity, it helps fight off infections and everything else. So the 10-day reset was, you know, I started looking into it. My wife and I said, let's do it. We put it on, you know, social media. Folks were like, okay, we want in. And if you think about it now with COVID, I mean, those are the two major issues. One is people's health, and then two is money, right? People have lost a lot. We've lost loved ones. We've lost friends. We've lost jobs. We've lost opportunities. So for me, it was like, okay, what can I do, right? This is what we're going to work on ourselves. Can we give it out to other people who want to jump in and join the 10-day reset? And so it's, you know, we take shakes, we supplement, you know, breakfast, for shakes. We have greens, organic greens, and it's got just the most amazing, again, organic, nutrients and minerals. And I think it's the best out there. My wife's a nurse, and she's done her research. She's like, this is like really good stuff. So send it to Marv. I know Jared. I know I talked to you about the 10-day reset as well.
We're gonna sit down
It's a
and
way
talk.
for people just to be more help and take. You can take control. We can only control what we can control, right? I heard Todd even say that when we first walked in the gym. And you can control your health. And I even told people, and I was a little brass about it. I was like, look, it's not okay to be unhealthy. Like, I just want you to know that. Like,
That's if you can prevent it.
Yeah, like it's not okay if you can prevent it to be unhealthy. And what happens is 7 out of 10 people are. So when you look left, look right, and everyone that you see is unhealthy, you feel it's okay, right? Because that's that comfortable place. When everyone is comfortable being unhealthy. We're the most unhealthy country globally, right?
Yeah.
7 out of 10 people are overweight and unhealthy. So you're not seeing fit people all over. So Jared said, he said, I surround myself with certain people. Well, yeah, I want to surround myself with people who are being healthy as well, because that's going to help us all to kind of push through, some adversity and trying to change our habits that are not serving us. So if I found something that's really good, why not give that away, like you said, as far as knowledge? So we found
So how do we find this information? Where can the viewers get that information about the product and the 10-day reset?
Yeah, you can hit me up. You can hit me up. My email is DJ Finesse 401@gmail. I can send you the PDF. You can even go on my Instagram. Everything on social media is at THEE DJ Finesse. You can go on my Facebook. I'm posting, there's some videos, there's some pictures. Like even in the 10-day reset. So I started on Monday. Today's day 7. I'm down 5.5 pounds in 7 days. And it's not starving yourself. It's just changing some of the things, some of the habits that don't serve you. So I'm down 5.5 pounds in 7 days, and the goal is to get really, really fit at 51 and to try to live longer, live healthy.
Yeah, and that's important because the show is about bouncing back from adversity, and there's no greater challenge. I shouldn't say no greater, but there's one of the top challenges is dealing with the sea. And having to overcome that obstacle, and then to still have the fortitude to try to get healthy again. Because some people beat the disease, and that's good enough. But now you got to build your body up to be, like you said, alkaline,
right?
And that prevents disease from settling into your body. And I got to say this. Sorry, guys. Speaking about bounce back from adversity, I got a cousin of mine out in Massachusetts. My cousin DJ had a serious neck injury. Young guy, 50 years old. Yeah. Kind of has to learn how to walk all over again, and so I just want to send a shout out to my cousin DJ. Absolutely. And hopefully
let's put him in our prayers.
He goes up and gets well, and then starts to get back some of the mobility that he lost.
God's got him.
Yeah.
Got him.
Mason, I want to say, to touch on a little bit before we go on what we spoke about earlier about, get comfortable being uncomfortable. I think the reason a lot of people don't do that is through fear. And your book, Personal Purpose, is absolutely a tool, and it's inspiration that if someone out there is a little bit afraid of getting out of the box, out of the comfort zone, then this is the book for you. It really is, Mason. I mean, you really did it here.
And I might add, after the show, Todd's going to be uncomfortable for cutting me off on the break thing. So.
Yeah. Oh, and wait. I'm about had it with this show because I've been standing on my toes for an hour and a half just trying to stay cool. My caps are numb. My caps are on fire.
There you go, brother. Getting that work. This guy's always working out.
I need it. No, I've been on my tippy toes. Look at this guy.
There you go.
You see me moving over here? I'm like, look out here. But look, I'm up here.
Well,
Shit, I'm in pain. This hurts. Oh, man.
Take it easy now.
Well, Jared, here's the thing, right? So, and I'm not sure how long we'll go, but I want to at least make sure I get this in there because you mentioned the C word and not COVID.
Definitely not
it's not COVID. And not to discredit or diminish, what COVID's doing to the globe. But it's the big C, and I'll do this way for you guys, right? And if you read the book, I don't mention its name because I don't want to give it power. And words have power. So you'll never hear me say the word. I just call it C. Because I don't think it deserves for us to call it by its name. So you'll never hear me. That's just me. But it's how we face adversity, right? And it's ironic that we're in a boxing gym because I don't think there's any more adversity in any sport than boxing. And I played college basketball. I think there's, or MMA, right? There's boxing, right? Or something in that boxing MMA capacity, because there's no other sport, in my opinion, that you have to overcome adversity than boxing, right? So my point was, how do I face now when I've been diagnosed with this thing called C in 2017? And again, going back to my point of doing things for other people, I said, well, I can crawl into a corner and woe is me. And I think I would be justified and people would pat me on the back and tell me I'm okay. Or I can use this as fuel to help other people push through adversity. And so my goal was, I'm gonna put this on Facebook. I'm gonna go on Facebook. I'm gonna tell people what I'm going through. I'm gonna show them what I'm going through. And my goal was, at some point in time, someone's gonna say, thank you for that fight, because you gave me the courage to face my fear, right? And hit it head on. And that was the goal. So again, it was never about me. I felt like, I truly felt, and again, I don't care what you believe in, it's not for me to say that. I truly felt like God was like, you want to be up front? You want the stage? I truly felt like that was my purpose. Like, you want to be on stage. And remember, I had been on stages, literally. But I never had a stage to have this kind of dialogue. Like, I always say to people, imagine me shutting the music down and talking like this. You want to see a DJ lose his career?
And the club.
And you want to see Jared turn on me quick in the club? You know what I'm saying?
Nah, if I was, as long as there was no Grey Goose involved, you were safe.
And I truly felt like God was like, okay, you need a platform, you need a stage, and DJ Finesse isn't it. So I'm not gonna kill you, but I'm gonna touch you up a little bit.
Take you through some things.
I'm gonna take you through some things, and let's see what you do with it. And I believe that once I came through, I believe he was like, you're my guy. Like, you're my guy, right? You're one of my children, disciples. You're my guy. And here I am. That's why I got this God's got me. I have a tattoo that I got at 50 that says God's got me across my chest. So I'm like, I need him on me every day. And I got that, a fist with the rosary beads. So, if I told you a story of how I know God's real, you guys would, you guys already know he's real, because I know he's been in your lives, and he's turned some things around for all of us. But, read the book and you'll get the story of how I know for a fact that God is real.
Mace, do you remember talking to me right around the time you got diagnosed? We were in the back of like where was it? Was it the Met? I had met you for something there, and we were in the back talking.
I don't remember.
Where was that? That was
So was it an event when we were working together?
I don't think it was an event. No, I think you were somewhere, and I came to meet you. So it was in Southside though.
Where was we at? What was the conversation?
It was down there, Davy Lopes.
Okay.
What's that school over there? It was in the back in the parking lot.
PCTA? PCTA's over there, Central's over there, Davy Lopes.
But it was like, what school was you? Did you go to the Met over there? Is the Met over there?
By Davy Lopes, no. I think the Met.
What's the school that's on that main street if you come out? What's the name of that street? I don't know.
Public Street? Not public, right?
Yeah.
I've done some things at the Met, but not like I didn't go
I forgot what you were doing anyway, but if you don't remember, then
yeah.
Where's Bob?
Bob's getting some water. Yeah.
Oh. All right. So, Finesse, man, it's a super pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
From personal to purpose, DJ Finesse. Keep inspiring. Keep being a pioneer. keep doing what you do, and you make the world a better place, Finesse. You make everybody around you better. You have a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, a beautiful family, and your vision and your drive is inspiring.
Todd, take us home, baby. Take us home.
All right, I'm gonna close it up. Y'all know how we close it up. So this goes along with what we was talking about in the beginning. But Jesus knew their thoughts and said to them, "Every kingdom divided against itself brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself will not stand. If Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then will his kingdom stand?" You know what I'm saying? The left, the right, the up, the down. Let's get back to the people. Let's get back to each other. Loving on each other.
Amen. Right?
Hey, Marvin, take us out. Give Finesse. Give Finesse.
Let's go. Let's go.
Finesse, where you at, Finesse?
That's what you
Yeah.
It is.
Look at Finesse. He just wiped his eyebrows off.
Hey, peace out, folks. Till next time.
guys.
We rise.
Next Monday.
They think that we don't know, so we gon' show them that this kingdom